What is up, my friends? Jesse here with Just Man Sports Cards. Today I went to the Sacramento Card Show. That's pretty much what it's called. It's at the Wyndham Hotel. Happens about every 3 to 4 months. I think 4 times a year, so every 3 months. They expanded it today to 135 tables, so they had a room outside of the main room. It actually seemed pretty poppin' most of the day for that room. The main room was it never really got busy. I've gone to this show probably I've set up there twice, and I'll show footage of the show floor, and then I'll also show my pickups as well. So stick around for that. I'm just gonna do my thoughts on the show right now, and then you can see what I actually saw. Yeah, I've been there at least 6 times. I've started a dealer twice. This is the slowest I've ever seen it. I think what's really happening right now, kind of in the people would maybe call this Northern California. I call it Central California, where I'm about an hour and a half east of San Francisco. It was in Sacramento. It was like an hour and a half drive for me. There's basically right now almost a card show every single weekend. So you're gonna see a lot of the same dealers. I've chosen to be a little more picky about the ones I go to. Um, a guy named Dion. He puts on a good show. It's typically $3 to $5 in that range to get in, but there's typically close to 300 dealers at his stuff, and the range is much bigger as far as like high-end cards. The one today is probably the best card show in this hour and a half, 2 hour radius that I live in for dollar boxes. The tables when I was setting up there were they're $60 for a 6 foot or 8 foot table. I forget what the exact length is. So then you can have like a showcase and another showcase, and then maybe a dollar box or $2 boxes, or you could have one showcase and then quite a few dollar boxes, and then some people buy multiple tables. So for and it was $1 today to get in. First time they've charged. I think $1 is a really good idea to charge to get in, because that lets you know how many people are coming through the door. At the end of the day, if you have $100, 100 people came in. If you have $200, 200 people came in. And it gives you an idea of how well you're doing with your show. So I think right now, there's money to be made in setting up shows. So, and I've always thought that the Sacramento one had a chance of uh, going the wayside, just because it's ran by two Steves. They're older gentlemen. They don't really seem to put any money into marketing. I don't know why. There was a lot of chatter today about how slow it was, so I'll be interested to see what comes of that. Other card show promoters, you're paying a little more for a table, but they're running ads on Facebook, Instagram. You kind of run into them. And then if you basically don't know about the Sacramento one, it's a lot harder to find out. You're not just going to like bump into it about it. There's a mailing list you can get on. But other than that, it's not the greatest publicized one. And that's been one of my beefs about. Uh, I just have chosen not to set up there because it can be really hit or miss there. So those are my thoughts on the show. I don't know if the market's getting saturated here, but if you're into kind of lower end cards or dollar box searching, there's still plenty of high dollar cards. There's dealers that did probably a couple $1,000s in deals today. You just have to have the right cards, but for a day off from me, I enjoy spending at least 2 to 4 hours in dollar boxes. I just find it relaxing, and then it also helps me learn about new cards and then researching them kind of on the fly. So that's my thoughts, and we'll jump into the cards I bought, or the show floor, and then the cards I bought. So stick around. Thanks. I also wanted to say thanks to the people that do watch the channel that came up, said that they enjoy the content. That really helps me. I haven't put out a lot of videos recently. Right now is my busy season at work. I'm working 6 to 7 days a week. So this is a Saturday is normally a day I would work, so I had to work with my work to get that day flipped to Sunday. So I'll be going in tomorrow. And a lot of times I'm working like a half day on the seventh day. So I really appreciate the support and the kind words. James, thanks for the gift. I'll probably open it on the air and give your channel a shout out because I've always appreciated your support. You're one of the OGs of the channel, and I definitely appreciate that. So thanks to all the loyal subscribers, followers. Um, and if you watch and you don't subscribe, that's okay too. Everyone has their own things they like to do, and that's cool too. All right. So this is the entrance. I've shown this place before. I went through these dollar boxes today, or those are actually 10-cent boxes. And then I pulled some stuff out from the boxes down there. I think this guy's name is Ray. I always go through his stuff. I pulled out $20 worth. The show is like strangely slow. Normally, like, it's hard to get up the tables. You can see here. So I'm a little curious if there's some like oversaturation on card shows. It's kind of the same dealers you see around here. You'll just see a lot more dollar boxes because the tables are a little cheaper. I think the tables are like 60 bucks a piece for a 6 or 8 foot table. So that allows people to put out dollar boxes and kind of do that. But normally, yeah, this show is way busier. It goes all the way back. I really like it because I can spend 4 to 6 hours going through these dollar boxes. And then there's plenty of other stuff. The lighting's actually pretty good always in here as well. This is the main room. They've expanded it to a second room. There's plenty of vintage too, if that's kind of your cup of tea. A good mix. As always, it's a little hard to find 90s. This guy always has books and stuff. I've bought some Beckett's off of them. They're like $1 a piece. It's easy to do like full rate research on there. So normally with shipping and stuff, it's like over. I mean, a Tony Gordon Beckett from the 90s for $1. He's taking care of it. That's why I bought some stuff off of him. It's gonna be $5, $8 if you're gonna buy it offline. So a good place to get that. A lot of people have commented about how dead the show is today. I don't think anyone can figure it out, but man, this is in Sacramento. The Bay Area, they've been running one about every single weekend. So I don't know if it's buyer fatigue or I bought a Tim Duncan off this guy. I'll show that in the video. So I'll jump out to the second room where they've expanded to. So I've always thought they should have expanded to this room because the Steves that put it on, they always have a wait list for dealer tables because they're so cheap. I don't know if these tables are cheaper out here. This room's not really AC'd very well. So there's been some minor complaints about that, but they have fans. It's fine. It's probably worse for the dealers, just standing out all the time. The traffic's about the same out here. So this part of the show is free. The other part of the show is $1. So yeah, you can just tell just a little more people, a little more crowded out here, but no big deal.
For all the rest, I paid $40 for that.
So yeah, it's plenty of baseball. So again, the pickups will go through the stuff that I paid the most for and then gradually what I paid the least for, and I'll try to cut away and show you some of my logic on this. So this was stickered at 150, and then I just simply, while I was at the show, I marked it down to what I paid for. So I remember uh, Jerry Rice, and then we'll pull this off so we can look at the card. I bought not necessarily Jerry Rice raw, but I bought some other ones raw. Seems like the chipping happens down here the most, obviously, and then up here. So I just really tried to look those areas over. Added some more light. It's dark in my house, so we're good now. It's kind of got this embossing to it, and then up top you can see how that would be a nightmare to grade. And we'll cut away to the logic on it, and then we'll jump back to the other cards. Okay, so we'll go over my logic of buying the Jerry Rice hot hands. I used Card Ladder to look up the data. This is basically what I was looking at. 111 for the most recent raw sale, 195 for a 9, 235, 190 CSG sale, another 9 for 133, a 9 for 250, 360. That one really went off. A raw for 95. So basically, what I was looking at here is some raw sales. That's a PSA 6. I felt like if I could get it for 111, I would do okay, because then I put another $20 into the card. I'm already going to be better off than this sale, because that's going to have tax on it. So you're talking about like 120 with tax plus shipping. So you're at like 125, 130. Then put another $20 into it for grading, be like at 130. And then if I could get 185, I would be breaking even if I sold on eBay, or I could potentially be getting the card if I got a 9 for $130 and then save $60 plus tax. I can't. There's, if you look through here, another thing I looked at when I was researching this. So this is one of the things I really like about Card Ladder, and you can hit this pop button. There's 45 nines, so it's not as low as population as I thought, but it looks like they grade it quite a bit in this range. The 10 is pretty rare. What I was not able to do while I was at the card show is just hard to tell. But then you get home and you can kind of look this card over a little more. The bottom edge looks good, which is a good sign, but there's this little, see that pinching there? That is not a good sign. This is why I've tried to get away from buying cards on my phone when I'm sniping cards on eBay. What you can also do is go to the actual eBay listing if you're like really researching this. Doesn't show pinching there. And then there's some fuzz here. I think there was some fuzz on the front too. See that piece of fuzz right there? I don't know what's going on with that, but they should have probably cleaned that up to help with the auction. But right there, that would have leaned me away from purchasing it. That's pinched. That's gonna get dinged pretty hard. So, and then, but the other thing I'm curious about, and this is, I didn't research it while I was at the card show. I just kind of really want this card. Yeah, a 10 hasn't sold in 2 years. So your upside is huge potentially. Downside minimum. What if I get an 8? I could probably sell it for $100. But if I didn't even look this up, this is nuts, right? So I think you could at least get 1,500 for it, but it hasn't sold in 2 years. You can maybe put it up for 2,500 and it gets snatched right up. Pretty nuts, though. So I feel good about that. That was my biggest purchase of the day. I feel like I nailed it. Do you guys feel like I nailed it? You'll see the other cards and see how I kind of feel how I did on those. So these were all 50% off. Um, Researching this better once I got home. $15 is about what they would go for. So I didn't really do that well. This is just kind of like a break even. If I grade it and it gets a 10, there's some margin in it, but not a whole lot. Not sure what I'm going to do with this one. So, and then I got these off the same guy. They're all half off, sorry. They're all out of 500. He had some different players. I think I can get $8 for them. I'm in a 90s group. I got them for $4. I think I'll just list them for 8 and see if there's any takers. Three of them together. Maybe I do a group thing for 20 or something like that. And then this was the last one. So not it's fairly centered left to right. Um, it's a rookie, $4, not numbered. Back looks. Oh, there's a dinged corner here. Not dinged, but white. So it's a 9 or an 8. So I don't know. Review on this second stack. I think I just did okay, not great. Next card, Duncan out of 25, or it was for $25. This was in one of those big like, and then he had a 35-year, where just people have like tons of slabs. I don't always go through those. I've kind of watched Tim Duncan's market. I've never really picked any of these up, but you don't see high grades come through that often. It's one of those cards you would stand up. So I think just over the course of time they haven't. So I will pull up my logic on why I got this for $20. I don't really think I'm going to go wrong, and I think this is highly undervalued right now. And then we'll jump back to the other cards. So these are all half off as well. So they're all 50-cent cards is what I paid. Kevin Curtis, X Fractor. This would be a slow mover. So this is just a ComC card to me for $2.50. Then I pay 50 cents to get it uploaded at $1. I can probably get $3. Kyle Van Noy, he had some in the base, and those don't really go for anything. But this is the refractor. So I'll probably look it over, and if I think if there's anything at all wrong with it, I won't try to grade it. I think it's kind of got a little dented corner I can see already. So that's probably a ComC card. Zach Martin, I think I picked up, 1, 2, 3. So I got 3 of the tops chrome. I might run like auctions, like with 2 at a time, and then the eBay envelope, and just see, because I'm into it, like $1 a piece, and just see how those do. The tops, I don't know. Maybe I throw that in one of, or maybe I do it 3 chrome, and maybe that's how I'll do it. 3 chrome, and then 1 paper and 1 chrome, and just run auctions. And then those are out the door, and it gets my eBay page a little more publicity. This is like a ComC card. This is out of 100. Derek Abney, rookie. People will collect this stuff. It's just really slow moving. And this is out of 50. So this is easily a $3 to $5 card to the right collector. I'll just send it to ComC. So that probably won't be on ComC for another 6 months. So I'm okay just into it for 50 cents. This was the Prism version. So I thought I'd look it over. Revolution Pacific. I kind of know these, and I know these do pretty well. I know this. I didn't have to look it up. There's a red version, there's a gold version, and then there's a base version. But this design, you can't. It's hard to find boxes and stuff of this anymore. So these you really don't see out in the wild that often. My guess this is a $4 to $5 card. Pick it up for 50 cents, get it to ComC for 50 cents, then I'll make $2 to $4 off of it. Cameron Hayward, I just took a shot on it. It's paper. It might not be worth more than $1, but for 50 cents. Devin Hester, he has a collector base. It's not super strong, but there are collectors of it. This is Tops. I think that this is out of 2007. I think this is called Copper. Marshall Falk and Edrin James. So 2 Hall of Famers out of 500. I didn't look this up either, but for 50 cents, that'll be a ComC card. 2007, that rookie year was very solid. So I'm not super picky about. I'm semi-picky on which rookies I pick up from that. Marshawn Lynch, Patrick Willis. I could always put this here, and then his Bowman. I found one of that as well. And then Calvin Johnson. This is easily. I just know this is a. I could look up comps, but my guess is it's a $2 to $4 card. And then Mike Evans, Finest.